Good morning, everyone. If you remember, this month we are talking about choice and agency. So let's get started on our back. Now, when I say that, right, choice. When I say I want to start on our backs, you could choose to start seated. You could choose to start on a kneeling position. Completely up to you. But I think we should start on our back today because we're going to start off with breathing. I'm going to give you some choices. We're going to do box breathing today. If you're not sure what box breathing is, it's inhaling for a count, hold at the end of the inhale for a count, exhale for a count, hold the exhale out for a count. So forming, I think that's a box. And the reason I ask us to lay down is then we don't have to think about anything outside of, you're not thinking about sitting up tall. You're not thinking about, shoulders aligned over hips, ears over shoulders, any of that stuff. You don't have to think about any of that. Lying down, you can just lie down, choose to have your knees up at the sky, soles of the feet on the mat, be in your final resting pose, whatever you want to do, wherever you're comfortable. That's the choice. And I'm going to give you some choices on breathing. So I'm going to start us off with 2 counts. So inhale for 2, pause for 2, exhale for 2, pause for 2. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. Now, if holding your breath in or out causes you issues and distress, I want you to just take a second pause, not even a second, just for a minute and then exhale. Okay, there's your first choice. If 2 count isn't long enough for you to feel like you're actually experiencing anything, we'll extend it to 4. If you're more advanced, we're going to extend it to 6. I shouldn't say more advanced. That's not the correct word. If you have been doing box breathing for a longer period of time, maybe you can extend it to 6. Let's go with that. That sounds much better. Advanced is the wrong word there. We're trying to do what our body can do. So that's our choices. Now the agency is when you're filling up, maybe 4 feels about right. Maybe 2 feels right to you. Maybe 6. I would just say stick to an even number. So wherever you feel comfortable, and again, agency, your choice, agency, feel it in your body. Okay. So let's start off. Take a deep breath in here. Audible exhale, let it all go. 2 more, just like that. Deep breath in. Audible exhale. Deep breath in. Audible exhale. Those are like our warm-up breaths. If you've ever been in the gym, you've done like warm-up sets. Those are our warm-up breaths, getting our lungs to fill up really well. So just notice your breathing in this current pattern. And then we're going to gradually start to change it. So here we go. We're going to inhale for a count of 1, 2. Pause at the top. 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2. Pause at the bottom. 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2. Pause at the top. 2, 1. Exhale. 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 2, 1. So let's start counting in our own head. And maybe we're going to extend it to a 4 just so you can feel it first. So we're going to extend to 4 this time through. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top for 4. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you've had a couple choices there. You felt how a 2 feels. You felt how a 4 feels. If holding your breath out, you know that just hold for a second and then exhale. You'll get 2 breaths for every one of a box. Okay. So let's do 10 of these wherever you choose to go. Okay. I'm going to pick 4. So ready? Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Know that as you're breathing in this box, you can adjust. If 4 feels like it's a bit much, maybe you crank it down to a 3 right away. Or maybe you go back to a 2. Maybe 2 feels too shallow. Maybe you want to go up to a 3 and then go up to a 4. Completely up to you. It is your body. You know how your lungs feel and what's working for you. That's 5. 5 more to go. One more because I lost track of count. Deep breath in. Audible exhale, clearing it all out. Now, I want you to scan your body. Notice how you feel right now versus when you came into class today. I don't want to put any words in your head. I want you to feel the words. You get to control how your body feels, what's going on in your head as we're breathing here, right? And while you may hope for an outcome, that outcome's not guaranteed, right? So you have to kind of loosely hold on to it. And roll over on your side, left to right, up to you. We're going to push ourselves up to a seat. Come to a nice cross-legged seat. So I'm going to relay a story to you. about agency and choice that's like real world. So last night, I'm a scuba diver. One, all these breathing techniques, if you want to be a scuba diver, help you out immensely. Beside that point, though, talk about something else of agency and choice. When you're scuba diving, right, we use lead weights to help us sink or float. And ideally, you can pick the amount of weight you want. So last night, I chose what weight I used to use, which was a 5. The class was about buoyancy, so it was about finding what your neutral buoyancy, so you can just be still and hover in the water. At 5, which is what I had been using my entire time diving, I sink and I have to struggle to keep myself off the ocean floor or the bottom of the pool. So what we ended up learning last night was I could lose 3 pounds, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I could lose 3 pounds and find a much easier hover and be able to control my buoyancy with just my breath. So I can go up and down, 6 to 10 feet just by controlling how much air I'm controlling in my lungs without that extra weight. That extra weight was causing me to struggle and work to stay afloat. So that's an agency and a choice, right? Like I have the agency to choose how much weight I use, and therefore allowing me to have a better experience in my diving. Now, you can take that to yoga. You can choose how deep you want to be in a pose, how long you want to have your breath go. Sorry, I'm like pontificating and preaching today, it feels like, but you can choose all these things and totally make your experience with yoga better. There's nothing to say that, and I know we cue it this way, but bend forward all the way into the knee. Open up the knee towards the outside when you're in Warrior Two, right? All kinds of things we do, right? Well, you can choose to back off of those. We're looking for your experience, and nobody can tell you what that is because it's happening in your body. So let's come back and let's do some asana work today. I know we're about halfway through class already, but let's get some asana in. We're going to do some easy stuff, though. I want you to think about agency, choice, how it's feeling in your body. Do you feel like when you twist, is that too much? Are you trying to ratchet to meet the expectations of a teacher? Or are you just, lollygagging it, right? You're just not even trying. So find your spot, okay? And we're going to do some asana stuff we've done before so you can feel it a little differently and engage with the choices, okay? So let's take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale your arms out wide. Palms are going to come to touch overhead. Now, you can notice when our palms are up here. We're going to stop and pause here. You can probably feel your lats. You can pull your shoulders down away from your ears, or you could really reach as far as you could up. Shoulders come to the ears. Maybe you even get a little tiny back bend as we slowly move to cactus or goalpost, whichever one you choose. Now at goalpost, right, you can choose how far down you want to come, how far back you want to pull those arms, right? Inhale back tall. Exhale cactus. Now close your eyes down and let yourself feel the movement and what feels right in your body. Just keep doing it. Inhale tall. Exhale cactus. Inhale tall. Exhale cactus. Inhale tall. And we're going to exhale. We're going to twist to the right. I want you to bring your left hand to your right knee and slowly twist. Look over the right shoulder. Now, are you feeling pain in the lower back with that? Then back out a little bit. Are you feeling nothing in the core? Like, is your core engaged? Are you feeling the twist a little bit? Okay, we're good. But nobody can tell you how deep to go in this other than yourself. And don't necessarily look at me. When you're ready, we're going to inhale back tall. Palms are going to come to touch overhead. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, tall. Exhale, we're going to twist to the left. Notice how it feels. Maybe this side feels a lot different. Look over the left shoulder. Maybe you're like, well, I can't look over the left shoulder. Maybe I got some neck issues. Don't look over the left shoulder then. It's completely up to you. Look straight ahead or look to the side. Don't ratchet. One more breath here on the left. Inhale, back tall. Reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, tall. So here we go. Agency and choice. Bring your palms to your knees. So how do you get to, I want you to think about something. How do you get to tabletop from here through your agency and choice, right? Like I know what I do. I tend to fold over my crossed legs and come that, unwind. Okay, that's what I do. Now you can do what you do, but try to do it mindfully. Think about your breath and rhythm and trying to do it in a flowing way. I like to think of yoga as, especially doing asana, as more like a dance. So when you get there, though, I want you to do cat and cow. I want you to go ahead and drop your belly on an inhale, look up at the sky. I tend to rotate my shoulders down and back and biceps to the front. That's just what I do. Agency and choice. You can choose not to do that, right? Maybe that really makes your shoulders pain. And exhale, cat. I tend to rotate my arms the other way. Triceps to the front, arch spine, tuck tailbone, chin to chest. One breath here. Just feel it out. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral tabletop. Just feel it out here. Okay, we're going to slide the left hand under the face. We're going to lift our right hand up to the sky. Give your wrist some twirls here, just getting used to it. And then we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to bring the right hand underneath the left arm as the right shoulder comes to the ground. Your booty will be up at the air, okay? Let the right temple come to the ground. Now, here's where we can get some choice. Maybe that's a little bit tough on your back shoulder. So push your hand up and push yourself up here a little bit. Or maybe it's not enough. You want to get a little bit deeper. Slide that hand out in front of you, left hand out in front of you, and let all the weight come down on your bicep. Notice the big stretch across the back of the shoulder. Come back to your breath. Whenever you settle in, inhale, bring that left hand in front of your face. Exhale here. On the inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up to the sky. Wrist twirl. Right hand comes down. Now notice where you feel that at. You feel that in the back of the shoulder, lats. Sorry, someone let the dogs out. I don't know if you heard that or not. Just notice. Agency choice, right? You can move and do things and notice how you feel when we do them. Inhale. Left hand to the sky. Twist the wrist. Thread the needle. Left shoulder comes to the ground. Right hand goes. So now this side might feel a lot different, right? Maybe it feels tighter and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to go all the way. Just feel it. As much as we would like it, our bodies are not symmetrical. 3 more breaths here. One more. If your right hand is extended, bring it in front of you, the face on an inhale. Exhale here. And we're going to inhale, push ourselves up, bring the left hand up to the sky. Wrist twirl. You can't see that. Left hand back down. Oh man, feel how that lower upper back feels for you now. Upper back, rear deltoid area. Agency and choice. You can choose to do a cat-cow here. You don't have to wait on me to tell you. Maybe you just know that intuitively when you do that, your body wants to go do a cat-cow. Let's do some organic movement. So here's agency and choice. I like to circle my hips. Organic movements. Just kind of time it to your breath though. Maybe inhale forward, exhale back. Maybe you choose to barrel roll your spine. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Maybe you choose to push back to child's pose. Inhale forward, exhale back. Lots of choice here. When someone tells you to do organic movements in cat-cow, I want you to think about how your body feels and what you feel like you want to do, okay? I also tend to like tuck my toes for a minute, stretch out the bottom of my feet. Giving your feet some love here, right? So we'll slowly make our way back to a neutral tabletop. Take a cat-cow, inhale cow. Exhale cat, your choice of cat. Inhale neutral. Bring those big toes to touch. Okay, I'm going to tell you to go to child's pose. Now, I prefer wide-legged or wide-kneed. So I'm going to take my knees out to the edges of my mat. You might like narrow-kneed or close together, right? Some people like this. Not really my thing. So figure it out for yourself what you like. Now, I want you to push your hips back to your heels as far as you can go. And I know from experience that across your knees, right, that area can be really tight and across your thighs, right? Because the thighs and then there's the skeleton and all that stuff, and it pulls really bad. So it took me a long time in yoga to get to where I could do this. Okay. So I know, but what I would like for you to do is focus. If you have a block handy, so bring that block in front of you here. I would like for you to focus on hips to heels, allowing some gentle stretching, and bring your forehead to a block or something to allow you to rest, right? So agency, here we go. When people tell you to go to child's pose, I see a lot of guys, and I don't blame you because it is tight. You're like this. That's not very resting, is it? So how about if we change that up, push our hips back further, and just lower our head to a block or a bolster or whatever you have handy. I think most of our classes that come back have blocks. So then with the block, you get like levels. You could go highest level. If you want, though, you can come all the way down. Looks like the dog's got a hold of one of my blocks. And just stay here and notice how it feels When you push the hips back more towards the heels and you lift yourself up, it lets you get further back, right? So just experiment with child's pose here. 2 more breaths in child's pose. Then we're going to come forward into heart melting. Again, another pose where you have lots of options. So I'm going to bring a block in front of my chest here, lowest setting. So we're going to slide forward. Tush is going to stay up in the air. We're going to slide that block under our chest if the floor feels way too far away. So agency choice you have here, right? So you can also, again, blocks are wonderful things because they can go here. Then you can reach your arms out. Or, you can always go to all the way. Two more breaths here. So wherever you are, we're going to remove that block and we're going to slide forward all the way onto our belly, coming to Sphinx. Another pose. Lots of choices here. You got bringing your arms out to a figure 11 in front of you, try to pressing your hips into the mat here. So you're going to engage your glutes a little bit here. Don't have to necessarily engage as much as pulling your knees up off the ground, but push your hips into the ground, Sphinx pose, right? Now, maybe you got a sensitive low back here. You can slide those hands forward to make the pose even more accessible. Heck, you could slide it so far forward that you put your head on your fists. Right? So there we go. What was that? 4 poses, 5 poses we went through in flows that you can use your agency and choice. Now, next week, let's put it together like we did the month before, if you were with us then. We're going to put it together and we're going to flow through these. Now, remember, you get to make choice, and every day is different. Maybe next week you come in and, for some reason, you can get your hips to your heels and your head can come to the mat. Great. But let's roll over onto our back now. Setting up for our final resting pose, okay? So we're going to take our legs long and here. Final resting pose, right? Like everybody tells you to set up a certain way. I'm going to tell you that's kind of crap. You can pick. Arms can be out. Arms can be in. Palms can be down. Palms can be up. Lots of choices here, right? The one thing I would recommend that you try to do is relax your feet. Some people that's going to be straight up. For me, they fall out to the side because I kind of walk a little duck-footed. And then I like to kind of adjust my spine a little bit, rock my head left and right, setting up, taking a moment, and let. So if you try to keep your arms in by your side, you might notice that it feels like you're putting a lot of strain on your chest and shoulders. I want you to try and experiment with letting your arms come out to the side and see how that lets your shoulders come all the way down on the mat and be more relaxing. So hopefully you have a lot of space. Take up as much space as you want here. And once I find my plot, sometime I'll do this because I know my shoulders are on the ground. I'm completely relaxed. You found your final resting pose and you just breathe. Slowly bring some movement back into fingers and toes. Take a big morning stretch on an inhale. Exhale, rolling over onto whatever side you feel this morning. Push yourselves up. I'm sorry, we went a little bit over today. Look at me just getting in this talkative mood and not paying attention to the time, but hands to heart center, head slightly bowed. Thank you so much for joining me and letting me guide you in your practice. I look forward to seeing you again online. I bow to you. So thanks so much, folks. Next week, like I said, we're going to put it together and you'll see the advantages of knowing what props you need so you know where you're going. Lets you a little bit disengage from having to think about, oh, I need XYZ to do XYZ. Okay? So think about it. Have a good week. I'll see you next time.